Hi, everybody. This is just a quick video covering the one-way sync that exists when you're working inside of a production. And this is something, it's kind of an advanced thing that I wanted to make sure to explain in a way that you guys can understand. It has to do with any type of additional metadata or effects that get applied to the clips that live in a separate project from an editing sequence. So what I have open on the screen right now, I've got my production panel. I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to the effect controls because we're going to be talking about source clip effects in just a second here. And I've got these clips in one project. I've got a sequence that's open that's in a completely separate project. So if this project were closed, we'll go ahead and close it here just to demonstrate this. If I am in this project here and I suddenly need to do some work on some of these clips, the first thing I would need to do is find where these clips live. I can right click, say reveal in project, and it opens up the correct project here. Now, if I'm on one machine, if I start to add markers or clip effects to these clips, and as a quick example here, I'll double click on this clip here. And we'll go ahead and I'll add in a marker here. You'll see that that marker instantly updates on the clip in the timeline. So the marker appears in both places immediately. Now, where this gets interesting is when you have people collaborating. Maybe I have an assistant editor that's going to go through and add a bunch of markers to these clips, maybe add some color effects or do other types of transforms to these clips to do what I want to have done to them. So to simulate this, I'm going to go ahead and close the project that I have my timeline. So I might be editing away in the other room here. I'll go ahead and save these changes here. And now as the assistant editor, I'm just working with these source clips. So this might be the type of thing where, and in fact, I'm going to move something else around on my screen here just to make this super, super easy. I'll go ahead and put my effect control or my effects down here. My effect controls here. Okay, so let's say I start with this clip here, and first off, I decide I need to make a bunch of markers. We'll put a marker there, we'll put a marker there, we'll put another marker here. Maybe I want to add a color effect to this particular clip. I'll go ahead and go into, just to make this very dramatic here, a faded film monochrome effect. And I can either drag and drop it on here, or I can just drop it into the effect controls. So you can see here, this entire clip now has a Lumetri color effect applied to it. This is what's called a source clip effect, meaning anywhere this clip lives, it's going to have this effect applied to it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that to a bunch of these clips. So I'll just go ahead and select all of these clips here, and we'll just put monochrome punch on all of these clips at the same time. So just by dragging and dropping across that selection, you can see that now all of these clips have gone to this really dark and spooky monochrome effect here. And just for giggles, I'll also create a couple of additional markers. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save my work on this. That's done. That's ready for the lead editor. We'll go ahead and close that project. And actually, I'll go ahead and open up. Actually, let me close this first so you can see this. And I'll go ahead and open up my project that needs markers and color effects. So here we are. These are this area with this sequence marker here. These are the clips in question we were just messing around with. But wait a minute, nothing has been updated here. That one marker that I created when I had the clip project open is there, but the rest of these markers, the added markers, didn't get added in. This is where you have to understand that there is something called a one-way sync that happens. Premiere doesn't typically peek into the source projects that contain these clips. So if the clips get modified, you need to open up that project to kind of one-way sync that information into your sequence. So the way this works, all I have to do is either right-click on one of these clips and say reveal in project. Since they're all in the same project, they'll all sync at the same time. Or if I know where these clips are, I just have to open this on the same machine. So I have to have the sequence project open and the clip project open. So in this case, I'll go ahead and do that. And bam, 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 the markers have all shown up. And now you see that the clip effects have all been applied as well. We've got, this one's got that sort of faded film look, and the rest of these have that stark contrast. If you're asking yourself, why does this one look a little bit yellow? If I select it and go to the effect controls, this has stacked effects. Here's the source clip effect that we added on the clip in the bin. And then the clip in the timeline has an additional Lumetri effect, which is pushing it a little bit warm. So that's basically what's happening there. So these different things stack, but the most important thing is if you're working in a production, you need to make sure to open up the clip projects if somebody is going in and adding source clip effects. Otherwise, they won't appear on your timeline until that project is opened. I hope that makes sense. Thanks for watching.